Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
First carry now for Jordan Howard.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Flex round!
A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important. And they've done that in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, Raider 2, 6-18.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
29, 6:37. Now, wide 88.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Carr now on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
93. 93.
To throw again. Carr. And this will be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
734. Down. 180.
Now Carr again. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. Pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken at around the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
You got 56 there.
Throwing again. Carr, he's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Shotgun now for Carr. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Cooper's got it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, 734. Go, Chief. Go. Get set.
On 1st down, Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Low. Down. 180.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Hey, here we go. Do this right. What's it on?
On the handoff, this is Howard. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Smith to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Carr now on first down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. Throwing on first down is Carr. Wide open receiver, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
7:34. Down. 280. 29. 29.
On 1st and 10, Carr. That is caught inside the 5. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
White Monday down. Hey, 7:34.
Again, it's Carr. And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And they'll run it here. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Smith from the gun, he'll throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
7:34.
Now Carr. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A give to Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They go with Howard again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
694.
Carr now to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Come on, let's go.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And that's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Yeah, 98's down. 58-98. 6:37. Hey.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett. in there to get him for a loss of 5. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Hey, 734.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Looking left side, and it's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Smith on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To the air again, Smith. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Again, Smith. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Tech McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away, and that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Down! 180! Slide down! Go, go. Get set, get set. 180, set.
From the gun, Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Smith. Open man is Amara Darboh, complete. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the red zone now, Smith. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Smith throwing again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now stands at 13. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. picked up by Fabian Moreau. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
We're good, we're good. Go, go. Get set, get set.
Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Smith again. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Raiders have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive. And
obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The defense gets them the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Monday, down.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got 4 down. Down. 180. Go, go.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Smith. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's Marshall, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Later, 8.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Down! 180!
They run with Howard. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. So with that knee, they take care of business in the divisional round. They'll be back here at home next weekend. One more hurdle to get to the big show.
The good feelings, they just keep coming. They get to ride that wave for at least one more week because they have their big prize in their eyes, and that's getting into the Super Bowl. But they have to win next week after winning this one.
Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side, and now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, one game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think about it. Let's see if they use it as motivation.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.